Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Varteta Learning Platform, and today in this series of tips and tricks in C++, we are going to discuss about the friend functions. Before we use it in the code, let me tell you something about the friend functions, why we use it. Most of you might be aware about it. So first use is like sometimes we need to allow the use of private member functions of a class outside the class which is not the public member of the class, right? So friend function in that case allows the use of private member functions, private members and functions outside the class. Okay, so what does this mean? Let me tell you this thing. So let me create a class. This is the test class, and here I'm just going to write a private member variable, and it's int a. Okay, so let me try to add that use that private variable, assign some value to that private variable inside the main function. It's a private variable int a, and inside the main function I'm just going to create one object test class, and I'm just going to assign a value 10 to this member variable. So let's see what happens. Clearly you all know that it will throw an error, okay, because it is a private member function. But if you write something like this, what is the signature of my main function? It's main, right? So I need to write the signature of this function. I need to write like friend int main. That's it. If I have written friend int main, then it means that I have made main as my friend. So since main function is my friend, so he can access all my things that I have, whether private or public, anything. So int a will now be accessible through this main function, and also we can check it if the value was assigned or not. So let's see, and let's run it. You can see like 10 has been assigned to it. Okay, so this is one of the the technical aspect, like what it does, right? This is something which, if you know this, then it means that you are aware of this thing. But what is the real use of it, right? So mostly this is able to access the variable in private variable inside a class. So the most important use of the friend function is to uh, make the overloaded operator more versatile. Okay, so what does this mean? Let me tell you with a simple example. Suppose I am just going to create this test class, and here I am going to write int real and int imaginary. There are two portions, real and imaginary. Okay, and here I'm going to write public, and here I'm going to declare one constructor test class int and real and int and imaginary, and I'm going to assign these values. Real is equal to nreal and imaginary is equal to n imaginary, right? So we will be able to assign these things, nreal and imaginary, and here we can do one thing, like we can make it like 0. If you don't provide the imaginary variable value, then it will be like your imaginary part will be 0, and similarly you can make this one as 0, right? Just to give you a sample of example, I'm just doing this. So this is one thing, and imaginary and real you have created. and then you are going to write one function, overloaded function, which is the plus, adding the two complex numbers. Okay, so this test class is basically a complex class number, just consider that. Now I'm just going to create, just going to overload the operator plus. Okay, so let me just write like test class reference operator plus, and then I'm just writing test class reference t1 t. Okay, so you already know, like with the overloaded operator, it becomes like t dot plus this operator, right? So this will be called on the real object. If you write like t1 plus t2, then it will be like t1 dot operator, this test class t2. Okay, so that way it is called. So in some other video, we will discuss about the operator overloading, how they are called and how they are treated. But if you know, then it's fine. And I hope you know about that one if you are watching this video. Okay, now let's see what we can do here. So here what will happen, real will become, it's like real plus t dot real, and imaginary will become imaginary plus t dot imaginary. Okay, so you have called this on the current functions. So what I will do, since this will return test class, so what I can do, I can simply write like test class tr, which will be the result, and I can do like tr dot real is equal to real plus t dot real, and tr dot imaginary is equal to imaginary plus t dot imaginary. So this real will be the real for this current class object, and this tr that I'm going to return. Okay, so it's like return tr. Okay, so let me write like test class t1, and here I'm just going to write like, it's like 10 and 2, and then I'm going to write another class, test class t2, and 2 and 10. So these are the two objects that I have created. Now I'm going to create a test result object, test class tr is equal to t1 plus t2. Okay, so in this case, what will happen if I, okay, here I need to print it, void print it, print imaginary, print complex numbers. So here I can do something like this, see out endl, how they are printed. It's like real plus real, and then you can write like plus I into imaginary part. So that imaginary part I can add here. Okay, so now let me just tr dot print complex. So let's run this. Reference to local variable returned. Okay, so this is like on the 19th line. So let me see. No, main.cpp tr. Okay, it's like reference is returned, so I need to write like reference tr is equal to t1 plus t2. Okay, what is this? So this one here, I think I have done something wrong. So I need to just return test class. So let us see now, t1 plus t2. So here I should do like this. To an OR value of type this. So what I need to do, it's like this. Okay, now you can see 12 plus I into 12. Okay, so this is the way I'm just returning the value from here using the plus operator. Okay, so now I'm going to do one more thing. Rather than using t1 plus t2, I'm just going to write t1 plus 10. Just remove this line. Okay, if I remove this line, what will happen? T1 test class tr is equal to t1 plus 10. So it will be like when I will call this, it will become t1 dot operator plus with value 10, right? And this 10 will be assigned to what? Test class. Okay, test class t is equal to 10, right? So when I will do this, you know that this particular constructor will be called, and imaginary part is 0, but real part has been assigned with 10. So this will come here, 10 will be assigned to this. Okay, so t1 dot operator plus 10. So this will again be called, but now it will become 10 plus I into 12. Let us run this. 20. Okay, so it has become 10 and 10. Real part is 10. Right, this is the second part. So test class t is equal to 10. So this is the real part of this object. So that is why when you add this, so t1 has 10 and t2 also and the next part, when you add it, 10 is also 10 for this. So this is also the real part. So when the two reals will be added, it will become 10 plus 10, 20, and then 2 will remain there only. Okay, so this is how it is working as of now. But let me do one more thing. 10 plus t1 now. What will happen? Do you think it will compile? Just think about it. Let me tell you the answer. You can stop the video and you can see if your answer is correct or not. Just think of your answer and then come back. Okay, so answer is that this will not compile. Why? Because you know that 10 plus t1 will become 10 dot operator plus t1. Do you think 10 is an object? Obviously not, right? So what will happen? It will give you an error. Okay, so in these kind of situations, what we were talking about, the versatility of the operator, overloaded operator using the friend function, that will come into picture. Okay, so what we can do, we can simply do one change, friend friend test class operator plus test class t1 and then test class t2. Okay, so now what will happen? It will become t1 dot real, t1 dot imaginary, and here it's like t2 and t2. Okay, now let us see what will happen. Now you can see the output is fine. So this is the use of the friend function to increase the versatility of the operator. This is one of the scenario that I have told you, and this is the same thing that you can tell to any of the interviewer if he asks the question related to the friend function, that how and where the friend functions are used and what is the real use of friend function. Okay, so in the next video related to the friend functions, we will see that how we can overload one more operator, two more operators basically, that we use for taking the input and printing the output. Okay, so these operators are something like this. This one, cin operator, which is used with the cin object, and this one which is used with the cout object. This is used with the cout, and the previous one is used with cin object. Okay, so we will see that how we can overload these operators. Okay, so as of now, I think I'm done with all the things that I had to cover today. So in the next video, you will see again that how to overload these operators, and with that we will be done with most of the concepts related to the friend functions. Okay, so till then, have a nice day and bye bye, and please keep sharing my videos and subscribe my channel. Thank you.